Greetings, everyone. Glenn Kellaway coming to you from the basement. Hope everyone is going to have a nice weekend. I had a great Friday night. I went to a concert in Oshawa, Ontario to see my favorite Canadian band, Lowest of the Low. I'm sure you've heard me talk about them. And I even got a Lowest of the Low hat. I've never had a Lowest of the Low hat before. They're rocking new t-shirts, so I did the t-shirt thing. I just love this band. We'll talk about them in a bit. I want to give some love to the opening act and do a little bit of review. So I hope you'll stay with me because I want to turn you on to this band and maybe you'll check out their album. I think it's really good. The band is called Ace of Wands. There's a picture of it. There's a picture of the three people in the band and their names. Lee Rose, Anna Murnix, I hope I pronounced that right, Anna, and Jody Brumel. I didn't know what to expect. I have to tell you, being on Instagram and kind of following Lowest of the Low and things like that, somehow Ace of Wands, I had been a subscriber to their Instagram page, and so I was getting all their kind of updates and posts and everything, but I had no idea what these people sounded like, and I was really surprised, pleasantly surprised. Let me tell you a little bit about them. I bought the vinyl too, and they were kind enough to sign this for me, and very nice people. I just got a couple of minutes to chat with them because I didn't want to. I could have stood there for hours talking to people like that because they're just so interesting. But on red vinyl, very cool. This album came out in March, I think. Okay, so they call themselves a dream rock band. Now, they were formed in 2017. Dream rock band, I didn't know how to take that. I was thinking, is their music going to be like Moody Blues or something before they came on? Because we'd read their bio. And dream rock is actually a term because the rock music they play is kind of based and inspired by dreams and nightmares, and so it goes from really angry to beautifully melodic, and it's just really interesting. I guess Lee had a period of mental illness issues, and that's what kind of inspired all this and getting together and doing all this. Their music, they come out that the first thing I noticed was the power of the drummers. Jody's a great drummer, and he really frickin' rips it, man. He's really strong drummer. And the two women, Anna and Lee, both play guitars, electric guitars, and just really mesh them beautifully together. It's great the way they relate to each other on the guitar. Lee also plays a violin, and it absolutely sounds beautiful. One thing that really stuck out to me is Lee's use of pedals. She, when she was playing her violin, the first track she played it on, she was looping. You could tell she was playing a certain part, and then she was looping it and then playing over it, and it sounded great. A lot of effects and just really in command of that. It was great. They opened up and they played for 45 minutes. They did this whole album, Desiring, the new album, in its entirety. I didn't realize that as I was listening to watching the show. They mentioned that towards the end when they were saying goodnight and what was going on. So this album's called Desiring. I played it in the car on the way home. I was about an hour away from the venue, and really loved the album on first listen. It was really loud in the theater. That's not a negative thing. It's just live music. You know what I mean? It's always more heavier than the record. So when I listened to the record, I didn't know whether I was going to hear something really like Blue Cheer doing Summertime Blues, or I was going to hear the Moody Blues singing Nights in White Satin. But it's really well done. It's great dynamics. I just urge you to listen to this album called Ace of Wands. Great job, guys. Fantastic. Loving the album. Lowest of the Low, my favorite Canadian band. I actually picked up. There's the poster from the show. Biltmore Theatre, Oshawa, Ontario. Performance by Lois of the Low with support from Ace of Wands. Friday, June 16th. Great show, great venue. If you're ever in the Oshawa area, the Biltmore Theatre is fantastic. It holds probably, I'm going to say 500 to 700 people. It was absolutely jam-packed. I got a chance to pick up this album again because my vinyl copy of this amazing album, one of my favorite albums of all time, Lois of the Low, Shakespeare in My Butt, my vinyl copy, my daughter gave it to me, and at the time, I think she had a kind of a scratchy record player or whatever. Anyway, the record it wasn't in the greatest shape. There's a lot of scratches on it. So, and I just kind of had that, and they've reissued their catalog now. Everything's available on CD and vinyl again, and so I picked this up at the show from them, as well as a hat and a T-shirt, and got a chance to talk to my buddy Lawrence in the band. He's a great guy. They put on a great show. Ron Hawkins is one of the great songwriters on the planet. I don't know how he's not up there in the world of songwriting with Elvis Costello and all those other guys. He did well deserved. They did songs off a new album that's coming out in October. They'll be touring around the province of Ontario, I believe. I know they're playing London, Toronto, Peterborough, Kingston. Not sure where else. Look for that in the fall. They did their classic songs, Rosie and Gray, to close the show. 700 people, or how many people strong, singing along to that chorus. It's so infectious. And Ron was in great voice, great humor, put on a great show. They all put on a great show. They did 3 of my favorite Low songs. They did Bleed a Little While Tonight and Subversives, which are both on this album, and Rosie and Gray, which is on this album. And they did Power Lines, which is off Do the Right Now, which is another great album. All their albums are great. These guys are just phenomenal. So that was a great show. I'm going to leave it at that. Please give Ace of Wands a try. Great album from these guys. I wished I had picked up their other album that came out a little earlier, but I'm glad I got this. And Jody, Anna, Lee, you did a fantastic job. And I'll be back with another video with some vinyl finds that I picked up when I was before the show. So have a great day.